Okay, welcome back to my channel, and wanted to talk briefly about the Triplex. It's a beautiful engine. I've never had an Erie with the blue paint, but I'm impressed with it. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't know if it's the actual true colors, but it looks great, and the detail is pretty spectacular. And again, this is the custom run that Mr. Muffin's Trains did, which has the blackened side rods and the no weight walls on the tires. And what I wanted to talk about, I've only had it for a day now, so I really haven't exercised it a lot, but it smokes well out of the stack. Whistle smoke is pretty weak. And my swinging bell needed some exercise, needed to play with it a little bit and make sure that it was easy for the magnet to move it back and forth, but it's working now, so I'm happy. And the stack on the tender smokes well. So my biggest issue with the Triplex is not necessarily with the Triplex, but probably my poor track laying skill, is that on the Triplex you've got the wheel side rods and some of the linkage is really pretty low, okay? And the worst part is the steps on the tender come out, I don't know, maybe about a half an inch. And so that's playing havoc with my Ross switches, with the switch mechanisms, the motors. Right now, it gets hung up on a screw head when it goes past that particular switch. And then I have another switch here for this side rail, and it gets hung up on this one. So I need to somehow lower the switches and move them out a little bit in order for the Triplex to go through it. So my warning to everyone is, when you're running your Triplex, run it slow. Run it through the rails slow. Just make sure that everything clears properly before running it. And the reason why we got the Triplex is for the wheel slip. And I haven't been able to perfect it yet. Based on the instructions that I read, you need to hit the boost button. And I'm either hitting the boost button too long or too short, but the train definitely lunges when I hit the boost button, and periodically then the wheels will slip. But it's just something, I think you have to practice a little bit. That there's a YouTube that Legacy Station put out, and I'd encourage you guys to look at that one. They did a good job on the Triplex, and you could see the wheels slip pretty well there. So I'm still looking to perfect this. I'm not quite efficient on it yet, but hopefully my next video will have a good session running the Triplex around the track and showing all the capabilities. But again, my warning to people is run it slow, make sure that it clears all your switches before letting it run full steam. And you can see the linkage over here is pretty low. You've got the linkage over here, which is pretty low. Got the tender, again, pretty low. And for me, the big culprit is the steps.